This chapter has 115 drills that will improve your ball control and hand speed. These drills will not, by themselves, make you a great dribbler. What they will do is improve your coordination, hand quickness, strength, and your ability to control the ball. Now, don't try to do all 115 drills every day. Instead, pick a few drills or maybe a whole section and work on those drills for 10 or 15 minutes. If you can master all 115 drills, you're going to have awesome handles and a great feel for dribbling the basketball. Once you've mastered the 3 basic dribbling positions from Chapter 1, straight line moves should be used when your defender is in poor position and you just need a little edge to get completely by him. This usually happens in the open court when you're at a high speed and he's backpedaling or completely stopped. When you use a straight line move, you keep the ball in the same hand. And the key is to have an explosive and long first step as you get by the defender. The most basic straight line move is the hesitation. Some people call it a change of pace. To use a hesitation move, simply back up your shoulders, slow down just a bit, and then go back to full speed. The key to making the hesitation move successful is to get the defender to think you're not going to attack. You may even want to look back as if you're going to wait on a teammate. But as soon as the defense relaxes, put your jets back on and go by him. The best time to use a hesitation move is when the defender is running with you and you need him to slow down just a bit in order to fly past him. The next straight line move is the in and out. To execute it, fake with your feet, head, and eyes in the opposite direction from where you want to go. Make the defender think you're about to cross over and then explode by him in your original direction. Now, the best time to use the in and out is when you've got some speed built up and your defender doesn't. If you can get him to lean just a little bit, you'll have the angle to go around him. And because you're not moving the ball, you can do the in and out in basically any speed. The final straight line move is the fake crossover. It's the exact same move as the in and out, except you fake with both your body and the ball to make the defender think you're going to cross over. To really sell this ball and foot fake, make sure the ball and your foot mirror each other. In other words, they should fake at the same time. Now, it's best to be in a controlled dribble when you use the fake crossover, or you may turn the ball over. If you use the move in a slowed down half-court situation, make sure there's enough space between you and the defender that he won't deflect the ball.
Watch as the fake crossover is perfectly executed in a half-court situation. But in this clip, the player uses the move too close to the defender, and the result is a turnover. Now compare the two. Notice how proper spacing is essential to executing a fake crossover and most other moves.
The key to using a change of direction move is to be in a controlled dribble before you execute the move. When players are in a speed dribble and try to change directions, turnovers often occur. Now, the following 4 moves are listed in order from the most space that the defense gives you to the least amount of space that the defense gives you. The first and simplest change of direction move is the crossover. To set up the crossover, step in the opposite direction from where you want to go. This will get the defender leaning the wrong way. Now, cup the ball in your hand and make sure you cross over right next to your thigh. If the ball is too far out in front of you, the defender may get a hand on it. To make the crossover effective, push hard off your outside foot in order to really explode the other way. And most importantly, the best time to use the crossover is when the defender is more than an arm's length away from you, so he won't be able to deflect the ball. The next move we're going to examine is the between the legs dribble. Unlike the standard crossover, the defense is too close to you to cross over without protection. So you're going to put the ball between your legs with your lead leg to help protect the ball as you change directions. As soon as the ball goes through your legs, whip around your trailing leg and trailing arm to restore all your protection. Again, the best time to use the between the legs dribble is when the defender is about an arm's length away from you. Executed properly, it's a quick and safe way to change directions. The third change of direction move is the spin. The spin is the most dangerous of the 7 moves because you turn your back to the defense and your teammates. But the advantage to the spin is that you keep your entire body between your defender and the ball throughout the entire move. Now, to execute a spin move, pivot on your lead foot, cup the ball, and pull it with you as you spin. Snap your head and body around so that you spend as little time as possible with your back to the defense. Now, make sure when you spin, your lead foot gets outside the defender, or you'll charge right into him. And be sure the ball lands in a spot that allows you to keep your body between the ball and your defender. You can use a spin when the defense is body to body with you. Place an arm bar on the defender and use it to make sure that he doesn't reach in and deflect the ball as you begin your spin. The final change of direction move is the behind the back dribble. Now, there are basically 2 versions of this move. If you're going at a high speed and you need to make a slight change of direction, use the very quick 1-2 version where your feet don't hit the ground at the same time. But if you're advancing the ball up the court and the defender completely cuts you off, come to a 2-foot jump stop and cross the ball behind your back to change directions. In order to execute a behind-the-back dribble, get the ball back, cup it, and push it behind you to the other hand, slapping yourself in the bump with your follow-through. The best time to use the behind-the-back dribble is when the defender is body to body with you, leaving you no space to cross over or go between the legs. It's quicker than a spin, and you don't need to turn your back on the defense. Once you've mastered the 7 moves from the last 2 chapters, you're ready to move on to combination dribbles that come in 2 categories. Let's say you put a move on a defender and he just plays good defense and cuts you off. You'll need a second move to counter his good defense and beat him anyway. Now, there are an unlimited number of counters, but in a game, when you attack a defender, you may use one move to set up another. The purpose is to get the defender to react to the first move. So, make it a little slow, a little obvious. But when he reacts to that first move, the setup, you beat him with the second move in the direction that you wanted in the first place. The first advanced move we're going to look at is the stutter step. The stutter is very simple. Machine gun your feet and shake your shoulders as well. Now the stutter step alone won't beat your opponent. What it will do is give you an advantage over the defender. Why? Because good defenders are always looking for little hints in your body language to indicate which direction you're going to go. When you're pounding your feet and shaking your shoulders, the defender can't get a read on your direction. So he basically freezes. Once he freezes, use a second move, a crossover for example, to get by him. The next setup we're going to look at is the half spin and lean in. Let's say you're in the back court and you have to get the ball up the court against a super quick defender who's right on you. Against this type of defender, any type of spin or long dribble could be really dangerous. So you want to do something quick and simple to get an advantage. Here's how it works. Start to spin and let him think you're going to spin. Then pull back in your original direction. Your fake spin will get him to move in the spin's direction, opening up some space in the direction you're wanting to go. Imagine you're dribbling down court and you see a trap is about to occur. What do? If you keep dribbling, you'll get trapped and you may turn the ball over. And you certainly don't want to pick up your dribble. Your best bet is the pull-back crossover. Here's how it works. As soon as you see the trap coming, go into a power dribble and reverse out of the trap. Then use any of the change of direction moves to get away from the trap. It's a combination of reverse power dribble and change of direction moves. One of the most entertaining moves is the cross and recross. Sometimes it's called a double crossover. This setup is best when you've already put a crossover on a defender and he's probably expecting another one. Simply make an obvious crossover well in front of him and let him jump to stop this initial move. Then immediately cross back over and you will have the advantage. Once you've perfected the cross and recross, try the advanced version of that move, the one-handed double crossover. It works in the same way except you're only going to use one hand. Let your other hand really sell the setup move by faking way outside. The defender should jump that way, changing his stance, especially when he sees the ball going that direction. Now, when you bring the ball back to your initial direction, he'll be out of position. This move is similar to the cross and recross, except the defender may be closer to you, maybe at arm's length. Go between the legs, faking with both the ball, your shoulders, and your head to get him to lean in one direction. When he does, come back through your legs and explode by him. Advanced ball handlers may cross between their legs several times, baiting the defender to move. When he does, you explode in the other direction.